There are mornings when the body speaks before we do. Not with words, but with the quiet stiffness in the hands, the slow rise from the bed, the way the knees hesitate before taking the first step. It is in these moments that many people over 60 pause and wonder when their strength began to fade, when simple movements became negotiations, when climbing a staircase started to feel like a small mountain. Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara used to describe the aging body as an old but trustworthy machine. Not fragile, not broken, just in need of the right fuel, the right care, the right rhythm. He believed that even an older machine, when tended to with consistency and respect, could keep running beautifully for far longer than anyone expected. And perhaps you felt this truth in your own body. A day when you ate a little better, rested a little more, moved a little slower, and somehow everything worked just a bit more smoothly. But aging brings a quiet shift that few people talk about openly. After 60, the muscles that once responded quickly begin to change. They need more support, more nourishment, more attention. Hormones shift. Digestion slows. Protein isn't absorbed the way it used to be. Some people notice they eat the same meals, yet feel weaker with each passing season. This isn't failure. This isn't neglect. This is simply the way the body transitions into a new phase of life, one that requires gentler choices and deeper understanding. Peter Attia, a physician who has spent years studying longevity, speaks of muscle not as something cosmetic, but as one of the strongest foundations of healthy aging. He says muscle is the currency that buys autonomy, the ability to carry your own groceries, rise from a chair without using your hands, keep your balance when the sidewalk is uneven, or steady yourself if the world tilts for a moment. According to him, muscle strength predicts independence more than weight, more than cholesterol, more than almost any other common measure. And for many older adults, this truth lands with both clarity and relief. Strength is not about youth. It is about staying connected to life. This is why today's conversation begins with something surprisingly small: seeds. 6 of them, each carrying proteins, amino acids, minerals, and gentle anti-inflammatory compounds that help an aging body maintain and rebuild muscle, sometimes as effectively as eggs, and for many seniors, even more comfortably. This isn't to replace eggs or deny their value. It's simply to expand the possibilities for those who struggle with appetite, digestion, cholesterol concerns, or limited access to traditional protein foods. Seeds offer another door, another option, another quiet way of feeding the body what it needs to stay strong. Because beyond the science, there is an emotional truth. Maintaining muscle after 70 is not about looking younger or proving anything to anyone. It's about preserving the small freedoms that make life meaningful, standing without fear, walking without hesitation, bending without assistance, trusting your own body when you reach for a step or lift a bag of groceries. It's about holding on to the dignity of doing things for yourself. And this is where the journey begins, with the understanding that strength at this stage of life is still possible. It is within reach. Even small changes can create real shifts. Seeds might be tiny, but what they offer the aging body can be larger than anyone imagines. And just like Dr. Hinohara's old machine, your body may simply be waiting for the right fuel, the right rhythm, the right care, given slowly, steadily, and with respect for every year you have lived. There comes a time, often quietly, when the body begins to change in ways that catch us by surprise. Not dramatically, not overnight, but through small signs that accumulate. The arms tire faster when lifting a pan, the legs feel unsteady after sitting too long, and strength that once returned after a night of rest now takes days to come back. Many older adults look at their plate and think they are eating enough, or eating what they always have, yet their muscles no longer respond with the same vitality. It can feel confusing, even unfair, especially for those who have taken care of themselves for a lifetime. But this shift is not a personal failure. It is a natural part of aging, shaped by changes in digestion, hormones, metabolism, and appetite, changes that make the body absorb less protein than before, even when the diet looks familiar. For many people past 60, meals become lighter, not by choice, but by necessity. The appetite shrinks a little. Heavier foods feel tiring. Meat becomes harder to digest, and protein-rich portions become smaller without anyone noticing. The result is that amino acids, the tiny building blocks of muscle, arrive in the body in amounts too irregular to support strength consistently. It's like trying to keep a fire alive with logs that are too small and too far apart. The flame flickers, never fully extinguished, but never burning brightly. Seeds begin to play an important role here, not as a replacement for traditional proteins, but as a gentle way of giving the body the steady supply of nourishment it can handle more comfortably. Science offers a clear but compassionate explanation. Sarcopenia, the slow loss of muscle, does not happen simply because birthdays pass. It emerges when the body receives less leucine, absorbs protein more slowly, and struggles to send the signals that tell muscles to repair after daily use. These processes grow quieter with age, yet certain seeds with their highly accessible amino acids and supportive nutrients can help reignite those signals. They offer protein in a form that digests more easily for older adults, especially those who no longer enjoy or tolerate large portions of animal foods. There is something remarkably fitting about this, something almost poetic. The smallest foods often carrying the strength the body now needs the most. This isn't new wisdom. In many Asian and Middle Eastern kitchens, elders have been nourishing themselves for generations with seed-based pastes, seed-rich stews, and small blends mixed into warm foods. These traditions quietly protected their strength long before modern nutrition explained why. The foods were simple, gentle on the stomach, and steady in the energy they provided. They didn't require large appetites or heavy meals. They simply fit the rhythm of an aging body. A helpful way of supporting the body today is through a small rotation of seeds. A teaspoon of 2 different seeds at 2 different meals. It is a subtle rhythm, easy to maintain, and kind to older digestion. It allows amino acids to appear in the bloodstream steadily across the day rather than all at once in a single meal. This quiet consistency nourishes the muscles like a soft, continuous breeze that keeps a candle lit. Muscles can be imagined as ropes woven from thousands of thin threads. Over time, some threads loosen, others fray, and gaps begin to appear where there were once tight bonds. Without enough material to rebuild them, the rope weakens slowly, almost imperceptibly. Seeds, in their modest size, bring back the missing threads one at a time. Not through force, not through dramatic change, but through small, dependable contributions that help the rope hold its strength again. And so, this chapter is not just about protein or digestion. It is about understanding how the body speaks after 60 and how seeds happen to answer that call in a way that feels natural, gentle, and aligned with the needs of this stage of life. There is something almost comforting about discovering that strength can come from places we often overlook. Seeds sit quietly in kitchen jars, taking little space, asking for little attention, yet carrying within them a depth of nourishment that older bodies respond to with surprising ease. For many seniors, especially those who feel heavy or uncomfortable after eating traditional protein foods, seeds offer a gentler path. Not a replacement, not a miracle, but a partner. Small, steady, and deeply compatible with the slower rhythms of aging digestion. In this chapter, these 6 seeds reveal themselves not as trendy additions to a modern diet, but as ancient, reliable helpers that have supported human strength for centuries. Sunflower seeds, for example, may seem ordinary at first glance, yet they hold methionine and vitamin E in generous amounts. Methionine supports the body's ability to form and repair tissue, while vitamin E gently protects muscles from the wear that comes with time. Older adults often describe a sense of lingering soreness after simple tasks, a heaviness in the limbs that takes longer to fade. The nutrients in sunflower seeds quietly support this recovery, easing the oxidative stress that slows muscle repair. They bring a softness to the healing process, much like warm light falling on a tired room at the end of the day. Sesame seeds, on the other hand, offer a deeper kind of strength. They carry calcium, zinc, and a unique compound called sesamin, elements that help maintain bone integrity and support efficient muscle contraction. This combination matters more with age than many realize. The moment of rising from a chair, the slight wobble when stepping off a curb, the careful descent of a staircase, these everyday movements depend on bones and muscles working together with clarity. Sesame seeds nourish that partnership, creating a sense of steadiness that becomes more precious with each passing year. Flax seeds bring a different gift. Rich in alpha-linolenic acid and gentle fibers, they ease inflammation and support digestion in a way that many seniors immediately recognize. Stiffness that lingers in the morning, the sense of swelling in the joints, the discomfort that follows certain meals. Flax seeds help soften these sensations. Better digestion, in turn, improves nutrient absorption, allowing the body to make use of the proteins needed for muscle recovery. It is a chain reaction that begins quietly, but can be felt with consistency, like the gradual brightening of daylight through a window on a winter morning. Pumpkin seeds carry magnesium in abundance, a mineral many older adults unknowingly lack. Magnesium influences how muscles contract and relax, how nerves signal movement, and even how well a person sleeps. And sleep, though often overlooked, plays a crucial role in maintaining strength after 60. Nights of interrupted rest or shallow sleep can leave muscles vulnerable and energy low. Pumpkin seeds support both physical stability and nightly renewal, offering comfort not just to the body, but to the mind that longs for peaceful rest. Then come hemp and chia, seeds known for providing near-complete amino acid profiles. Their proteins are gentle, easy to digest, and particularly helpful for older adults who find heavier foods difficult late in the day. Many people past 70 describe dinner as the lightest meal, the one where appetite fades first. In such moments, hemp and chia step in gracefully, offering essential nutrients without burdening the stomach. They help ensure that even when portions shrink, the body still receives the building blocks it needs to maintain its strength. What ties these 6 seeds together is not just their nutritional value, but the way they harmonize with the aging body. They do not demand large meals, intense digestion, or complicated preparation. They simply offer themselves as small, steady companions, quiet sources of support for muscles that have carried a lifetime of memories. In their own unassuming way, they remind us that strength is not always found in grand gestures, but in the gentle, consistent care we give ourselves, one spoonful at a time. There is a quiet truth most people discover only later in life. The body does not absorb foods the same way it once did. What was effortless at 40 becomes slower at 60, and even slower at 70. A meal that once offered strength now sometimes leaves little trace of energy behind. Many older adults describe a feeling of eating well enough, yet sensing that the food simply passes through without giving much back. This experience can create confusion, frustration, even doubt, especially for those who try their best to nourish themselves. But nothing about this change is a reflection of personal failure. It is the body's way of asking for foods prepared in ways that match its new rhythm, gentler on the stomach, easier to break down, and more accessible to the muscles that depend on them. Whole seeds, though full of protein and nutrients, often move through the digestive tract with their outer shells largely intact. It is a quiet detail that many people don't realize until they see the seeds exactly as they were eaten, unchanged by the journey. This isn't because the seeds lack value. It is because the digestive enzymes, now slower and less abundant with age, cannot easily penetrate those protective coats. The nourishment remains locked inside, untouched and unused, like a gift never opened. For someone relying on those seeds to support muscle repair, this can mean that most of their benefits remain out of reach. Yet when seeds are ground or soaked, everything changes. The body no longer has to struggle to break them open. The nutrients become available almost immediately, arriving gently and steadily, without the discomfort that sometimes follows heavier or poorly digested foods. This is where the science meets lived experience. Grinding or soaking seeds softens the workload on the stomach, increases amino acid bioavailability, and reduces the bloating or heaviness that some older adults quietly endure after eating. The shift can feel subtle at first, but with consistent preparation the body begins to respond. More energy after meals, less digestive strain, a sense of nourishment that settles in instead of passing through. Across the world, in places where elders often live long, steady lives, this method of preparing seeds is woven into everyday traditions. In Turkey, seeds are ground into tahini and added to warm dishes that comfort both the stomach and the spirit. In Ethiopia, seeds are blended into rich sauces that elders have relied on for generations. In Japan, finely crushed sesame is sprinkled into soups and broths, offering a softness that suits an aging digestive system. Without ever naming the science, these cultures found a way to open the treasure inside each seed and make it available to the body with ease. A simple approach can follow the same logic. Seeds can be freshly ground and added to warm cereals, blended into soups, or stirred into soft foods that the body receives without resistance. Chia and flax, when soaked overnight, transform into gentle gels that slip easily through digestion, releasing their nutrients slowly and steadily. These small preparations, quiet, thoughtful, and effortless, make a remarkable difference in how the body absorbs the proteins that support strength, repair, and mobility. A seed, after all, is like a tiny chest filled with treasure. When eaten whole, the chest remains locked, carrying its wealth untouched. But grinding or soaking it offers a key, opening what was hidden and allowing every nutrient to flow into the body with purpose. It is a simple act, yet one that honors the aging body's need for gentleness, respect, and a kind of nourishment that arrives without struggle. Strength in later life is often preserved through small, steady choices rather than big changes. Seeds offer exactly that kind of quiet support. Many older adults notice that their strength fades not through dramatic events, but through subtle moments, needing the armrest to stand up, shortening the daily walk, or feeling less stable when turning quickly. These changes often come from inconsistent protein intake and the body's reduced ability to use large amounts of it at once. Small portions of seeds spread throughout the day fit more comfortably with an aging appetite and provide gentle nourishment the body can absorb without strain. In regions where people age with remarkable mobility, seeds appear naturally in daily meals, mixed into warm vegetables, stirred into grains, or blended into soups. Their presence is simple and reliable, not occasional. A teaspoon of ground flax or chia in the morning adds a soft layer of support. Sunflower or pumpkin seeds in the afternoon offer minerals the muscles depend on. A little sesame paste or hemp in an evening dish brings comfort while feeding the body as it prepares to rest. What makes seeds so helpful is their consistency. They arrive quietly, without heaviness, offering amino acids and minerals in a form the body can use. Over time, these small contributions help maintain the steadiness, balance, and confidence that matter so deeply after 70. Dr. Hinohara taught that steady care keeps an aging body strong. Seeds offer that care with gentle proteins and minerals the body can absorb easily. As Vietnam's longevity cultures show, these simple foods help preserve balance, confidence, and the independence that makes later life meaningful.